for Monday, May 17th, 2021. It's a little after 1 o'clock. My name is Keith Davis. I'm the special magistrate appointed by the city to preside over today's agenda. I need to swear in city staff that's going to be testifying. I don't know if we have anybody at the moment, so we'll wait till they get back. Mr. Lightfoot, when your staff's assembled, I can swear everybody in.
Okay. There you go. Okay. You're ready, so.
All right, so who will be testifying? We have 3 cases on the agenda. Let me go ahead and swear in staff that's going to be testifying.
You got it. Ready to just swear in real quick. Everybody else.
Okay, so I have you 3 gentlemen and you 2 as well, or all right, if you all stand and raise your right hands, please, I'll place you under oath. Do each of you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony this afternoon will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you very much. You can have a seat, or if you're involved with the first case, I guess.
We have the first case 108-13252, Patrick Boulin.
Correct.
Is Mr. Boulin present? Good afternoon, sir. Then the way we'll proceed is I'm going to hear from city staff first. I'll hear their testimony. There may be photographs or other documents that are displayed on the monitors. You'll have an opportunity to look at those. Once the city's presented its case, I'll made any recommendations on how to proceed. I'll come back to you and you can tell me what happened from your point of view. And then once I've heard everything from both sides, I will in all likelihood enter an order today. So with that, you can proceed.
Okay, good afternoon. I'm here to provide information about the citation that I issued on March the 20th, 1:22 p.m. Citation number 108-13252. And that day I was patrolling the upper lot and I came across with the Toyota Tundra plate number KBB 844. And it was in violation of the ordinance 21-33H. Which is, no parking and reverse. So I went ahead and started the vehicle with the total of $40. We have numerous signs throughout the parking lot, the no backings. There are around 57 signs throughout the parking lot. What else I can do?
What's the city's recommendation for disposition of this matter?
Citation for the $40 amount and also an $40 administrative fee.
All right, Mr. Boland, I've also taken a look at your request for today's hearing. I've read what you wrote in your request for the hearing, so go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here, Your Honor, to request no fine be assessed onto me, whether it be administrative fees or backing in fees.
I'm listening.
The last point he mentioned, as far as the 57 signs of no backing in, Didn't notice one of them until I saw that ticket on my dashboard. That's one. That rule, I believe, I can easily say that rule is dated and it should be adjusted. One, the city hasn't done all that they can do to enforce that rule. Forcing somebody not to be able to back in straight parking, that could be considered absurd. My truck is a very big truck. When you go in straight, the back wheel drags across. That day, I could have easily taken 2 spots, which would have been here for a different situation then. For me to avoid that, backing in is the best way I see fit. Not just for that day. That truck is a 2019, which I purchased in 2018. So the amount of years I've been driving that truck, it can't even fit in my garage because it's big. It takes 1.5 space in my driveway. My driveway can hold up to 6 regular sized vehicles. That truck alone takes 1.5. And I have video cameras over there. I can show you. Rewind any kind of days that you want. You will always find that truck pulling backwards. I also work for Palm Beach County Engineering and Public Works in the Traffic Operations Division. So over the 20 years, and I've done customer service, dealing with commercial vehicles, any driving assessment test that I've taken within those 20-something years, backing in is always preferred. So for that rule to hold, you have to embody everybody. And that rule is excluding me. So that's why I don't agree with that rule. I know there's places in the city of Lake Worth where they enforce that rule, no backing in. They also changed the striping to force you to go straight in. If you have a straight parking spot like that, you could go number of places within the city, the county, the state, nationwide. You see a straight in parking, it's your choice to park however you want to. If it's angle parking, then it forces you to go straight in. Then you wouldn't have 57 signs of no backing in at that point. The angle parking would already dictate that. And as long as that's an option, until the city exercise that option, I don't think the reason I'm here today should uphold.
Okay. I hear everything you said. I appreciate your comments. Anything else from the city? Thank you, Mr. Lightfoot. Any final comments, Mr.
I didn't
Boland?
see any of those signs until I saw the ticket on my dashboard. If you can check your records, you will see how I paid. I didn't go to a parking station. I used my app. That could be done in any location, type in a number, and you walk away. I was done to do what I did that day, and it was done. And I don't think that I had to do that day at that location requires me to pay an additional $40. Just to go to a public.
All right, thank you. Mr. Boland, I appreciate that you don't agree with the rule, but as an admitted government employee, you understand how the process works. I don't make policy. I am presented with cases where people violate the rules, and I'm asked to make a decision as to whether the finding of a violation, whether I should uphold the finding of violation or if there's a reason not to. Your comments are better placed at the city commission and the mayor and the council of this city. They're the ones who make policy, and they're the ones who decide what rules are put into place, not me. And that's number one. Number two, I'm looking at a picture of your truck backed in. Right beside a picture, in the same picture, right beside your truck is the no backing into a parking space sign. If you said, it's my turn now, sir. If you said that you didn't see that sign, then you weren't paying attention because it's right there. Here's your truck. There's the sign. So I don't buy the fact, if you didn't see it, you weren't paying attention. Number two. Number three, you know, you are not being singled out, because I will tell you, hearing these parking cases, this is the only violation I pretty much see. People want a hearing because they get mad that they backed in and they got a ticket, despite the fact that there are signs all over that parking lot that say you're not allowed to back in. It's on the app. Don't back in. I appreciate you don't agree with the rule, but you broke the rule. You haven't given me any reason to not uphold the citation. You know, based on what I've heard, there is proper notice. You asked for the hearing. You're here. I've heard everything you said. I've heard everything the city said. I will uphold the $40 violation and in addition, assess the $40 administrative cost. Nobody's forcing you to have a great big truck. Additionally.
You're exactly right, Your Honor.
And
nobody is forcing me to have a big truck, and nobody should enforce me to which way I should park that truck.
well, the city has the right to regulate its parking in its city beach parking lot, and that's what it's doing. So again, I'm not here to argue with you, sir. Your comments are appropriate for this governing body, the policymakers, the mayor, and the city commission, not me. I'm simply enforcing the rule and the code. Well, I've made my decision and I will sign that order.
There's different options that can be done. If you want to enforce that, change the striping out there.
Thank you, sir. We're done. Next case.
Richard? Yes. Oh, please come in this way. Just someone come in this door.
Supposed to make me, sir. Thank God.
Got it? Right here.
All right, you're Mr. Goodwin.
I am.
I'm going to go ahead and swear you in, sir, so that you're under oath when I come back to hear from you about the case. If you could raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I'm going to first hear from the city's parking officer and hear his testimony. There may be documents and pictures that you'll have an opportunity to look at that are in the file.
I see him now.
Okay, and then when I'm through with them, I'll come back to you. You can ask questions or tell me about the case from your point of view. And then once I've heard everything, I'll in all likelihood enter a ruling today. Okay,
Thank you.
so why don't we go ahead and proceed?
Okay, on April 15th, 2021, I think that was on a Thursday, approximately 3:34 p.m., I observed a gray Jeep Liberty, a Massachusetts tag of 9 Papa Victor 548, was backed into a space. At that point, I proceeded to cite that vehicle for backing into the space under the city ordinance.
I'm just waiting for the pictures to scroll on to see.
And if you notice that one right there to the left
That's my Jeep.
Okay,
of the passenger side, you park right next to a sign, that big statement.
all right. Does the city have a recommendation in this case?
Standard $40 citation fee and a standard $40 administrative. On stage for a couple weeks.
All right, Mr. Goodwin, you're up. Go ahead, sir.
I'm from Massachusetts.
Yes,
I
sir.
just came down on April 2nd to move down to Florida. And I was at the beach. It was very hot that day, very humid too. And I was out right in the sun up front and I came back to the car because I was gonna put my stuff away and take them for a little walk, get something to eat. And so I was thinking about, it's a shade because the car's so hot, when you open the door, it just bakes in there. And I didn't know it was taboo in Florida to back into a space. In Massachusetts, I've been backing into the thing, everywhere where I usually go, I can, especially home, for the past, 30 years. I have never had a ticket or a citation. So, yeah, so I figured it was taboo in Florida not to back into a spot.
I wouldn't say that that's the case in this particular parking lot. It's not allowed.
Well, yeah, everywhere you usually go where I live, it's not, you can't back in either, over 55 community. So, yeah, I'm on social security, so I'm on a very limited budget, So $40 is a lot of money to me.
I understand.
I won't be eating for a few days.
Well, I hope that's not the case. I appreciate everything that you're telling me.
Yeah, then I realized afterwards, yeah, it's taboo to back in Florida. Yeah,
Well,
usually everywhere you go, it's taboo to back in.
I just pay a little closer attention. That
Yeah,
sign was
yeah.
right beside your
Yeah,
truck or your
it was very
Jeep.
hot that day. It was humid, you know what I mean? I was just trying to think of some shade, for him, be my service dog.
No, I
Yeah.
appreciate that as well.
So, yeah, that's it. And I figured, oh, yeah, it's taboo to back in. It's just a lot of, come from Mass, you can back in, I was backing in for the past 20 years, the same spot at home, and I lived there.
Okay,
Yeah, I didn't realize it was taboo to back in, so,
I understand.
yeah.
There,
It won't happen again, I know that.
at least not in this
I mean,
one.
$40 is a lot of money,
Anything else from the city on this one? No. All right. Anything else, Mr. Goodwin, before I make my decision?
I want to live in a budget, so it's $40 is a lot of money, I won't be eating too much.
Well, I am gonna, I've heard everything that you've said.
I was just thinking of him, the service dog, so it won't be too hot for him to get back there.
I based on the evidence and what everybody's told me, I do think it's appropriate to enforce the citation as well as the administrative fee. Let me ask the city, is there a period of time that can be offered to,
2 weeks.
I beg your pardon?
2 weeks. 2 weeks to pay the fees,
Okay,
up to 2
you
weeks.
say 2 weeks. What happens after that?
It'll just stay in the system after that. It'll eventually, you'll get a notice and we'll go to collections eventually down the road.
Yeah, we don't know, we don't want that
You'll have
part.
plenty of time to pay it.
Well, so I am going to impose the 40.
Yeah, and, reduce it a little bit, I can pay it today. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
I said I'm on social security, so I only get so much a month.
I'm going to impose the fine and the administrative fee, but you can have as much time as the city will allow you to pay that.
2 weeks, that's, yeah, that doesn't help me out.
Well,
Can you at least let me reduce the citation for me so I can pay it today, like half?
no, sir, I'm not going to do that. I think that that's the appropriate disposition. I appreciate your situation, but
I've got my driver record, there's nothing there. I don't have no violations whatsoever.
no, I'm sure you don't.
No, I don't. If you brought it up, you wouldn't find anything there.
All right. Well, that is my decision in this case.
I have total,
I beg your pardon?
how much total I have to owe?
The total will be $80.
$80.
40 for the citation, and then the administrative costs for having the hearing is $40 as well.
Guess you don't want me to eat for a week.
I would not say that at all, sir.
Well, this is gonna happen, because I read a very unlimited budget. I just barely making it now, I had to come down here for my health and stuff, and I didn't realize it, but is there something you can do, reduce it to the,
That's my decision, Mr. Goodwin. Okay, thank you.
what do I pay?
So the key to
I'll send you the email and then with the payment options for
Can I
you.
use a credit card today?
It will be in the email. You can pay it online.
Okay. Is there a fee to do it online?
There's a fee if you pay online.
How about if I just made a check?
Yep, you can do it as well. But I'll email you all the information and then you can decide.
Order in the file.
That's it.
Does it?
I don't remember. Is the order in the file? Do I need to?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't do the last one either. Give me that previous file.
the judge?
You want to take it all the way to court?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure there are appellate rights.
yeah, I'd like to do that,
That's absolutely your prerogative, sir.
yes. How do I go about the procedure for that?
We'll email you that as well.
You will email it?
I'll email it to you as well.
Thank you. Come on.
What's today, the 17th? Is that the first one?
Yes.
All right, and then we can do the,
Stay right here for me, okay?
all right. And, pardon me?
The officer is not here.
And are you Mr. Is it Esteem?
Yes,
Let me go ahead and swear you in so that your testimony is under oath. If you'll raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes, sir.
Thank you very much. I've got the file with your case. There may be some photographs that are included in here that are going to be up on the screen. You'll be able to take a look at those. I'm going to hear from, I guess, Mr. Lightfoot, the parking department supervisor. He's going to tell me about the case. Once he's finished, I'll come back to you and you can tell me about the case from your perspective. Once I've heard everything, I will in all likelihood enter a ruling today. Okay? Go ahead, Mr. Lightfoot.
The citation is issued in the upper lot over the beach for overtime living meter violation, 21-35. One of my officers who recommended the questions did not either pay the meter or pay by park home.
All right, what is the city's recommendation for the disposition of this case?
$40, I think we do $40.
Mr. Esteem, I've looked at all the photographs in the file, which have been scrolling through on the monitors. I've also read your hearing request form. Go ahead, you're up.
Well, I recognize that I didn't get a parking permit to park at the park at the time. But the reason why I made that mistake was because there were many people at the beach, and the parking lots were pretty much empty. So and I left it just for a few minutes. That's how I got it. I'm just asking for advice. That's just that's your end knowledge, because it was a mistake. I will not do it again.
Okay, I appreciate it, sir. Anything else from the city? All right. I mean, Mr. Esteem, you pretty much acknowledged that you didn't pay the parking because the parking lot was empty. That unfortunately, that's not the way this works. If you want to park in those spaces, you have to pay the meter. So I am going to assess the $40 citation as well as the administrative fee of which is also $40. And you can have, I guess, up to 2 weeks to pay that, but you know, I don't think that your reasoning is sufficient to not assess the fine, and then, you know, to have the hearing, the city has to bring me down, bring the city attorney down, bring staff in, bring the IT people in. So, you know, there's an expense to that, which under the city code, they collect that as well. So that's the additional $40. So I will assess that as well.
May I say something, sir?
Go ahead.
I usually pay, sir. I usually pay just that day.
And that's why you usually don't get a citation. When you don't pay, then you get a citation, and this is what happens. So. All right, I believe the city will email you the payment instructions. That is my decision. Okay, thank you very much. Any other business for this afternoon? All right, it's 1:30. We stand adjourned.